So starting off at number 14, we have Unarmed. This move comes out on frame 6 and does 14 damage, and is really fast. It's one of the fastest endlights in the game, and that's its main strength. It also has some string potential at low damage, like endlight to sidelight, but overall, it's a really basic move. It does what you expect it to, and not a whole lot more. Coming in at number 12, we have Greatsword. This move comes out on frame 12 and does 10 damage, making it the slowest and the weakest endlight in the game. It has some really good uses, like punishing dodges, especially off sidelight, or extending Greatsword punishes, but overall, it's just not that versatile of a move, in my opinion, which is why it's ranked this low. As a side note for Greatsword, it's really hard to rank because of how the weapon works. So I chose to base it off the starter endlight and the gravity cancel endlight. However, this isn't really representation of how good Greatsword actually is as a weapon, because the moves by themselves aren't really what makes the weapon unique, right? It's because of how the moves flow into each other. But as an individual move, I do think these two moves are some of the weaker ones on the kit. Coming in at number 12, we have Blasters. This move comes out frame 9 and does 17 damage, and it also strings into Nair pretty nicely. Overall though, it has a lot of active frames when you hit it, making it really easy to punish in 2v2, and there's also a chance your opponent gets their dodge back in the middle of the move. It also doesn't add a whole lot of utility to Blaster's kit, so compared to things like Downlight and Sidelight, it's kind of a weird in-between of those two moves that just isn't different enough to really add a lot to Blaster's kit as a whole. Coming in at number 11, we have Katars. This move comes out on frame 7 and does 13 damage, and also strings into Recovery, which is a kill confirm if your opponent doesn't have their dodge. It's kind of similar to Blasters though, in that the move doesn't add a lot to the kit. It's too similar to Downlight, and it has a pretty small hitbox too, which is why it's placed at number 11. Coming in at number 10, we have Gauntlets. I think every weapon past this point is actually really good. There's a lot of good endlights in the game, but regardless, this move comes out on frame 6 and does 15 damage, making it the same speed as Unarmed endlight, so it's very fast. It also strings into Sidelight at low damage. It combos out of Nair. It can kill at later healths, so it's just a very solid move all around. Coming in at number 9, we have Spear. This move comes out frame 7, does 15 damage, so it's really safe considering how long range and fast it is. It also has super low knockback. It'll basically never kill. It'll always send your opponent a bit in front of you. But the weakness of it is that the setups off of endlight aren't that consistent. You kind of have to hard read what your opponent's going to do to punish them. Overall, it's still a very good move nonetheless. Coming in at number 8, we have Lance. This move comes out on frame 7 and does 17 damage. It's very similar to Spear endlight in its usage. It's very long range, safe, and fast. However, the difference is Lance endlight actually becomes a kill move at later damage. So it has a bit of string potential at low damage, but then it'll just start hitting your opponent far away and eventually kill. So overall, a very well-rounded move. Coming in at number 7, we have Hammer. This move comes out on frame 7 and does 17 damage. It's a really good stacked sort of get off me option. A lot of Hammer's other moves are pretty slow, so having this really fast move, if someone gets up close to you, is really strong, has good synergy with the rest of Hammer's kit. The main weakness is that the hitbox is really small, so the move's not really that versatile. You have to be almost stacked with your opponent to be able to hit it. Overall though, very good move, very good synergy with Hammer's kit, placing it at the number 7 spot. Coming in at 6, we have Axe. This move comes out frame 9 and does 19 damage, making it the highest damage endlight in the game. It also has pretty long range and hits stacked, so it hits a really large area. Furthermore, the move kills at later damage, it has a lot of active frames, and it even jumps over some hitboxes. You can see it sort of does this little jump in the air in the middle of the move. You can jump over things like Orb Sidelight and Sword D-Light. Its weakness is that it's probably a little more punishable than some of the other endlights in the game, but overall, this move is very strong. Coming in at number 5, we have Cannon. This move comes out frame 10 and does 17 damage. And similar to Axe, it has pretty long range and also hits stacked, so it hits a large area and also has a lot of active frames too. The thing that makes this move so good though is the positioning it sets your opponent in. So if we set Boulevard to orange, about 100 damage, and hit him with an end light at the edge. You can see that positioning is just super good. You can really easily get a nice edge guard to finish off your opponent afterwards. This move can also string at low damage, things like end light and decider, and kill at later healths too. Coming in at number 4, we have Scythe. This move comes out frame 9 and it does 13 damage, and has a really great hitbox. It hits both in front, it hits stacked, and it hits in the air too. It has really good punish options as well. At low damage you can end light nair, at high damage you can end light recovery or end light side air to kill, and it's just such a great move because of how easy it is to hit, paired with the amazing punish options you have after hitting it. Coming in at number 3, we have Sword. This move comes out frame 7, does 14 damage, has an amazing hitbox in active frames. It's active for a very long time, and also hits pretty high and in front of you, so it can suck your opponent in from pretty much anywhere. And because of that, it's a great move to punish anything in neutral really. It also has pretty low recovery frames, meaning you got some string potential at low damage, things like end light to side light. It can also kill later on at really late healths, and overall it's kind of just what you want in an end light. It's a very basic move, but it's very great at being a basic move, which puts it at number 3. At number 2, we have Orb. This move comes out frame 9 and does 16 damage, and it's pretty similar to Sword end light. However, what it lacks in horizontal range, it makes up for in vertical range. So this move hits really high vertically. If I slow down here, you'll see it actually hits above your character's head, which is kind of insane. It also hits very stacked. Even if your opponent's slightly behind you, it can still pick them up like that. It's a kill move at later healths, similar to Sword again, and it also has string potential too with end light to side light. So just overall, pretty insane move, tons of utility, amazing hitbox, just great move overall. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Bow. This move comes out frame 9 and does 15 damage, and its strength really lies in its design and hitbox placement. If we take a look at this slowed down, you'll see how huge this move is. It's like twice the width of any other end light in the game, and it's also an anti-air. In a game like Brawlhalla, where aerial play is so important, this move is just incredible. It's super oppressive to play against, because you just can't be anywhere in the air near Bow, or they can just end light, or dash end light, or backdash end light, or just do really anything with this move because it's so good. I think it's really hard to nerf because, again, its design is just so good. It synergizes with the rest of Bow's kit, and overall, incredible move. Best end light in the game in my opinion, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Alright, so here's the final tier list. It doesn't include unarmed because there isn't an icon for it, but it would be right under Greatsword in the C or D tier. I do want to make it very clear that this is just my opinion on how a tier list should be ordered, so if you have any different opinions, let me know in the comments. The point of this video is more so to create discussion and educate about the strengths and weaknesses of the different end lights in the game, rather than to convey my opinion about it. So with all that said, let me know in the comments what move you think I should do next for tier list, and I'll catch you all in the next one.